Alright, sorry about that. My phone died. I know my mama probably shaking her head looking at me. Just like, cause my phone always be dying. But it's charged now. I actually wrote a little heat while it was charging too. Ate some good little chicken. But yeah, so I went in my word and I was telling him like, man, I'm thinking, no, you could do both. You could rap for the world and then rap for God at the same time. But nah, cause if you rapping for the world, the love of God ain't in you. And plus, trying to do right by God is no turning away from the world, and I wasn't doing it. So he was just like, okay, just take his verse off if I put him out, cause he didn't want to be on it. And I understood why a lot later, because that's why I had to delete we had to delete every song we had, because if you put something out and it's causing somebody else to sin, you just as guilty. And it's just like, you put something out, tell somebody to do this, do that, or whatever. Like, you responsible. So, but yeah, so that what was going on. It broke my heart at first. Now it's just like, but it didn't break my heart, but it just because we went, cause again, you gotta think, we was in the car so like late night, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, just writing song, recording, putting in real work. Like, we wrote all our stuff. It ain't like some people people write stuff for them or whatever. Like, we wrote every song, put in work, day in, out. Like, we just getting off of work, working all day, come to the house, just start writing. We'll go get something to eat, come back, start writing. Fall asleep, when I fell asleep in the whip. Like, it was just like 3, 4 years of like just work putting in, man. And to give that up, it shows a real I don't know, I feel like it shows real character to let it go. And like, really, faith, I used the wrong word. It shows character too, but better word, like, it shows real faith, because I know a lot of people be like, man, I done did all of this. I done did all this. Like, you really want me to just let it go? And God says yes, because for one, it's wrong. But two, like, you using it for your own earthly good, which is not even good at all. Like, I gave my gift. I remember the first freestyle I ever put out, it was To That Heaven Be. It's still like one of the hardest ones ever. And it's like, I remember my brother, he had left that morning, man. Not that morning. I'm getting so ahead of myself. Let me stay on the story path. So yeah, so that happened. I was going back and forth. He said he wasn't doing the music no more at the time. Wasn't that secular music or whatever. And I was like, no, okay. So got that. So going back to the dude that I was working with, he so that night, I kept hearing this stuff, like, in my like I said, like, you hear things differently. You lit, like, your ears, your spiritual ears, or God ears, or whatever, get turned on, and your eyes too. So that was the 20 what's it called? The little 20% little battery thing, man. Anyway, so the dude had said, his friend wasn't smoking that. And yeah, I'm jumping back to that story. I had got off the topic before my phone had died or whatever. But yeah, friend said he wasn't smoking that. So I'm driving the drive home after I left. After that weird stuff happened in the car, I didn't know what was going on, but God was talking to me. I listened to the same song, and it was like, dudes ain't really your dog. What you rocking with? And no, it was like that didn't bother me, but it was the end part where it said like life without the team ain't really winning, dog. And I looked around all by myself. So I get back home, and I'm thinking, yo, I got my left side of my face started tingling. And it was like, they say, like, when you have a stroke, your whole left side go, like, your one side, shut down or whatever. But I'm thinking, like, my whole side feel numb, but like, is it a mini stroke? Like, I don't know what it is. And I told them, I said, bro, I think I'm having a stroke. They looked at me crazy, like, bro, you sure? It was like, they looking at me like, you look like you fine. And I'm just like, nah, I don't know. I just want to be sure. That's all I kept saying. I just want to be sure. So Called 911. I called 911 myself. And like I walked down the steps fine. Like I got in the ambulance fine. They couldn't go with me. And got in the, like the weirdest stuff happened. Not mind you, I'm high, but it's like no other stuff is going on. This is a different type of high. Like I'm in an ambulance, and it just like this a whole new world. Like life about to end type stuff. Like, I don't know. So anyway, I'm in the ambulance, and this dude, he just looking at me, and he's smiling the whole time. Like I told him the situation or whatever, and he just like, no, we get calls like this all the time or whatever. So I ain't really talking to him that much or whatever. I'm just, minding my business, trying to get to the hospital so they can tell me I'm good so I can go to the crib. So we driving. The dude talking about he can give me an IV while the truck moving. I'm talking about like the ambulance is bouncing around, like just like moving, it's driving. Like this dude talking about trying to stick something in my vein. I'm just looking at him like what? And then mind you, I am strapped down to the table. I'm strapped down to the table in the little ambulance or whatever. So I can't move. I'm just like, bro, what's going on? So he didn't do it. I got to the hospital and they put me, they wheeled me up. I'm like one of them crazy people. Like they had strapped down or whatever. I'm just looking at everybody just staring at me. So they get me to my room. My mama and my brother, they weren't there yet. So, and me and my brother, we were just talking about how it was like, he was telling me how like they say like when you go to hell that you can see heaven and you can see people having a good time and all that other stuff. And we was having that conversation. So I'm sitting there, it's like the loudest silence I've ever heard in my life. I'm just sitting at the table. It's like no wind, no thoughts. It's like you waiting something, like low key on some like awaiting judgment type stuff. So I'm just sitting there, just me. Like with nobody else, just me. Then all of a sudden I start hearing the nurses, they laughing and giggling, having a good time. When I'm sitting in here, like, I'm thinking, like, what's going on? Like I'm here, but I'm not here. So eventually my mama came in there and she mad because she been telling me stop smoking for like the longest. And then like she think I'm just high. And I probably would, but this one no normal high. So and my brothers came in there and it's crazy because it's like I started, I ain't gonna say having a conversation with God, but it's like I had to plead, for my soul in a way. This gonna sound crazy, but it's like it got to a point where like I'll be laying on the table. I was laying on the table, and then like the first time, it's like picture a horizontal canvas, and it's like I was looking at myself in the bed, and I just started descending through the floor. And I just remember me saying like, no, God, no, shit. Like, no. I'm talking about just pleading, like, hold up, we can talk about this. Wait a minute. And I'm smiling now. But boy, when I tell you, that might be the scariest thing. This whole situation is the scariest thing that's ever happened to me, man. Like, I saw myself descending through the floor. It was dark. It was just a bed, but I'm awake though. Like I'm looking at myself. Like that's something you can't describe. And I was just sitting there, I'm just like, man, no. Now I'm not saying this to say that you can plead with God with anything, because like whatever God say, it's what God does. But I feel like he did that just to show me like, don't play with me. So at that time, I was like, man, no, I'm like, hold on, no, because I had said, I ain't gonna smoke no more. I was making every type of gesture that I feel like would be suitable. Like, hey, man, it ain't that serious. I don't care nothing about this tree, this bush. I don't care about none of that. Not that good. It ain't worth this. It's not worth this. So I'm sitting there trying to talk to God about my life, and then I snap back to the regular reality with everybody, with all the people and stuff. And what happened next? Oh, so I snapped out of it, and I just looked over. It's like, you ever like, when you come up from like not breathing for a long time, it was like one of them deals where you be gasped like, it was like one of them. And I look over at my brother, and he's just looking at the clock. Now this the brother that was that found God. He I got two of them. One like completely fine guy. The other one, we still, still my brother like always, but he ain't here yet, but he coming. So he's just looking at like something behind me. I think it's like my little life monitor. So I'm in my head, I'm like, man, am I dying over here? That's what I'm thinking in my head. And I was like, well, what's up? And he's like, no, you good, but you good. He's like, start praying. And after that, I had that experience. I told my mama, I think I need to call my pastor. And her just getting mad. She like, man, no, don't call them. It's too late. Da-da-da-da. And that's all. I'm like, man, mama, call the pastor. Like, I ain't trying to hear nothing that she talking about. She ain't dialing these numbers like the pastor number. I said, call the pastor, mama. She said, I blocked her, because at this point, I'm like, you wasting time. Cause I don't know how much time I got left. And I looked at my brother. I said, you understand when I say it's spiritual, right? He like, yeah. That is the one that had been searching for God that I was telling you about, the one that we were rapping together. And I said, okay, that's all I need. I just need one person that understood what was going on right now. I didn't have to tell him what I was going through in my mind, but he knew it was something. And the crazy thing is, he had told me that earlier in the year, he told me he had a dream that was gonna happen. Like, he saw me in the hospital. And then it didn't click until like after all this stuff happened. And like, I put it together. I was just like, so that was your dream, wasn't it? And then he was like, yeah. Because he couldn't tell me at the time, because I guess he said it had to happen, which is true. But anyway, back to the story. He said he understood that it was spiritual. I said, okay, you were praying for me and everything. But yeah, I kept on going in and out, like dealing with God in the spiritual, going back to the physical, going with God in the spiritual, I'm going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So I'm just like, man. And every time I come back, it's like my heart rate was just pumping, bro. I'm just like, bro. Okay, it felt like I was losing life. Every time I came back, like my I just jump up. I see him looking at my little monitor thing. I'm just like, bro, am I dying? That's all I kept on thinking about. And it's all I could think about, man. And like going to hell. Cause I knew that I was in the wrong right now. I knew for a fact that I was in the wrong. If I died right now, that I wasn't going to heaven. I wasn't going to see God, man. And that's all I was thinking about. And then like that got into my mind. And it was just like, that made my heart rate just beat out my chest. I'm just like, just boom, 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 boom. And I'm just like, man, I'm finna have a heart attack. I'm like, if I don't die here, like, the thought of being with Satan is finna kill me. I'm just sitting here like, bro, oh my God. I'm sorry. I'm just apologizing, praying. Jay's just like, pray. He sent me a prayer on my phone. To my phone and reading. And I remember every time my heart rate would go up so hard or whatever to a certain amount, it would go off. It would send like the little messages to my, not messages, but like the little, what the things called in the hospital, like the little bells or whatever that the nurse, when they need a patient, it started ringing. She came to my room. And they're like, what's going on? And then like, he'll go back down. So all right, that happened 3 times. And the third time, she came in there, she brought some more people in. It's like a whole bunch of doctors with white lab coats. They just looking at me, smiling. All smiling. And it's like I was getting signed into hell. It was like they asked me my name, last name, date of birth, social security number, like a little like number or whatever. They gave me a number for I don't know, they just gave me a certain number, kind of like when you go to jail and they give you like, inmate number, whatever, so and so. They did all that, and I'm just like, bro, I'm getting, all I could think about was like, I'm getting signed into hell. I'm like, they finna take me. And they kept on telling me afterwards, after they did all that, they told me, now I need for you to think about what's making your heart go up so we can catch it. And I was in here looking at them like, catch what? You're not finna catch nothing. Cause that mean they wanted me to think in my head, think about going to hell and dying and like burning, like all this other stuff that you don't want. That's what they want me. Cause the same thing that making my heart beat out my chest right now is what they wanted me to think about. And I wasn't going for it. I remember they would not leave until I thought about it. But I wasn't going. I told them, I said, I didn't tell them nothing. I just closed my eyes and I kept on saying, you okay. I just kept on saying, you okay, you okay, you okay, you okay. And I feel like that was God comforting me, telling me that I was okay. Because me, I'm scared out of my mind because ain't nobody going through this but me. They just here. Like my mom, my dad, not my dad, my mom, my two brothers, they was just there. Nobody wasn't in that with me. Me explaining it to you is not even doing any justice for real. But so I ended up, after that happened, when I opened my eyes up, they was all gone. And that's when I finally had rest and I fell asleep after they left. It's like I finally had that breath of relief. Now remember, mind you, that what happened? Oh, mind you, I promised the guy that I wasn't gonna smoke again, right? And I'm also in the transition of being like a independent secular artist. So keep that in mind. And I really told these events out of order, but I told that first because I don't know. But the week before that, this happened in the span of 3 weeks. The whole like transfer over. So that's week 2. Week 1, I was at work, and the first time I ever seen somebody die in front of me, I had a coworker, and it's crazy because we was all in the break room. For some reason, I stayed over. I was working overtime, and everybody else is facing, those benches or tables where they have seats on both sides, kind of like a picnic table. We had stuff like that in our break room. So I'm sitting on the side facing this way. Everybody else is like facing, on the other side. So, dude, we just laughing, talking, having a good time. And the crazy thing is, right before this happened, what I'm about to tell you, we were just talking. Me and the guy who passed away, we were just talking. And he was just telling me, like, what it's like to be married. He was like, it's the most beautiful thing ever. Because it's like, it's one thing to be out here, chasing this girl, chasing that girl, and then going home by yourself. But it's another thing to come home to somebody that's only for you. You have kids and everything. It's just the beautiful life of having a family. He was like, that's real. And, y'all get mad at each other, but y'all don't go cheat or step out on, He said she get the bed, you go to the couch, or like y'all get on one side of the couch, she get on the other one, until y'all rock it out. I thought that was funny, but we were just talking about that, man. He was telling me how, he had 2 kids, and baby mama wouldn't let him see him, whatever, and they were breaking his heart and stuff. But like, he's still pushing through, everything was all good. And I was like, that's what's up. I was telling him that I was just, I think I was just about to get baptized. Not baptized, but I had recently gave my life to God. I was planning on getting baptized. And just bettering my life into where I'm at right now. And we got into the break room, and I'm the only one that's able to see him. He just started tilting back. And I was just like, what happened? Everybody else, they look and they just see him on the ground. I actually saw it happen. So I'm just like, what y'all gonna do, because I got up. Now, I'm not a nurse or a doctor or nothing like that, but I feel like I don't know. Still to this day, man, I told my mom, I told like some of my brother and my friend, like I wish I could have did more, because like when he died, when he was on the ground, he was still alive. He was like still trying to breathe, like making noises and all that stuff. And like the supervisors, man, the shift leader, they didn't do nothing. Like people say they wasn't like they did the best they could and all that stuff, but I don't think they did, because dude was sitting there sitting like for so long, and it's like the PC, I know for a fact, because the PC was just sitting there just looking at us. Me and another coworker was down there trying to help him. We sitting here trying to put him at a certain angle, maybe like his air tubes blocked or something, just trying to do what we can. He just sitting there looking at us, not knowing what to do. I'm just like, dude, you supposed to be, CPR certified, nothing, like all this stuff. As soon as something like that pop off, you supposed to be on go. No reason why I should beat you to the scene. And I'm not CPR certified. I don't know nothing about that. But like I feel like I could at least try it. I ain't do it, So but yeah, I'm saying like holding him, just trying to keep him up or whatever. And I don't know, man. It just But anyway, that happened. I seen first person I ever seen I think they ruled it as like a heart attack or something. But and I'm gonna say this: take care of y'all bodies. Take care of y'all bodies, bro. Like this really is a temple. I know I just got done eating some church's chicken, but I'm trying. I am trying. Some people don't care. Like I met some people who don't drink water. Like that's weird. How can you not drink what you made of? But yeah, so fast forward, he goes to the hospital, and he looked exactly like me. When I was in the hospital in 2016, I was in the hospital for, I think, a weekend. I got hurt in high school, and I told I don't know if I'm gonna get sued. Well, I'm out of school now, but I got hurt in high school. I had to have shoulder surgery because a fat dude fell on me. I was in a position where I wasn't supposed to be in. I was supposed to be in that running back, but they had me on the defensive line, and a 300-pound, 6'8" offensive lineman fell on me and tore something in my shoulder. Now, I get back in school, and I heard something crack when he fell on me too. I get back in school, they threw a football. I tried to go up for it, my arm got stuck, and I'm just like, what is that? Like it's like something got caught on something. I flipped it. I got it back right. I'm just like, that's weird. So the more and more I try to do stuff, it got worse and worse. It just kept on popping out. I got to the point where it'll pop out in my sleep and get stuck in my sleep, man. And I was just sitting here telling my mom, she taking me to the doctor and stuff. And dude just keep putting a sling on me. I'm like, I'm not a doctor. I don't got no degree, but I'm pretty sure that it's something on the inside that need to be done here. They keep telling me to rest it for 2 weeks and stuff. I'm like, that's not gonna work. So ended up finessing my 12th grade year, not being 100%, finessing it enough to get my football scholarship. And I get there and I said, you know what? I'm gonna just have the school to pay for it. And they did. And I said, I'm gonna get hurt in practice, and that's what's gonna happen. So, I get to my school, and we had practice or whatever, and I'm playing linebacker or whatever, and I sat the quarterback, and my arm pop out. So I run to the sideline. I tell them, I let them know what's going on, and my shoulder out of place. They give me a battery to hold to try to get it to, get back right or whatever. So I finally get to the doctor. It's a shoulder specialist, and he told me, I actually spoke with him before when I first got there. He said, do you got any injuries or whatever? And I told him, yeah. My shoulder messed up or whatever. And I told him, he's like, that sounds weird. I don't believe it. So I'm just like, all right, whatever. Okay. At this point, I'm just like, I'm here now. So This time, he like, man, I remember you. You told me about this in the beginning. So he ended up getting me in. He gave me x-rays and stuff. And he went in, he's like, oh, so you wasn't lying. I'm like, no. I ain't, I ain't gonna say it. But, no manure. No manure, man. So he ended up, getting me in or whatever. And I had the surgery. And he said when he looked at it, like I was missing something. I think it was like a biceps tendon or something. I don't know. But I was missing someone in there that was supposed to be in there. Cause I had went to my doctor in Georgia or Phoenix or whatever, somewhere down there. And I was in the hospital for like 12 hours, bro. And nobody knew what was going on. I woke up in the middle of my surgery. Like, I was in a white room, a super bright white room with a whole bunch of people in white lab coats. And I woke up, my arm was on my stomach like this when I went to sleep. And when I woke up, I'm looking around, and it still feel like my arm is like this. Tell me why this dude grabbed my arm, and he picks it up in front of me. And like he goes like this, and I'm high. Probably I'm just saying like, oh my God. I'm like, this scary, but it's cool at the same time. Like, dude got my arm in front of me, holding it, playing with it like it's a toy, but it still feels like it's like this. But then, at that point, I went back to sleep. So he thinking, the doctor in Ohio, he thinking like from that experience, he thinking that they probably took something out or whatever, or like, I don't know. But that's another story for another day. So anyway, I had the surgery, and they said that from what my mama told me, she said that the surgery had went well. She was in the break room, and then another doctor came out there, and in the same breath, a few minutes later, he said like, he ain't breathing. We gotta get him to the hospital or whatever. And she, she going crazy. And I ain't believe none of this that I'm about to tell you, that I'm telling you right now, because I'm just like, I remember going into my surgery to get my shoulder fixed. I'm like, man, I'm finna get my shoulder fixed. I'm finna be a running back at the best. Like, I was at Mount Union, like the best D3 school in the country. I might hit the league. I'm finna do this and that. And all these plans, man. And God was just laughing like, he funny. So like I was rushed to the hospital, cause I think that what they told me, it said I had like an allergic reaction to some anesthesia, and at the time I had like a tube in my throat that was like trying to breathe, that was helping me breathe or whatever, and they think I was waking up or something, and then they like my lungs was like, in your airway, when you swallow stuff, it's you put stuff in your throat, it's your throat made to clench down on stuff, man. Like, you know what I'm talking about. Basically, so I was squeezing on the tube trying to breathe, and it was just going so hard and hard, but it was in the way. So like, my lungs, they squeezing even harder, trying to breathe, and it wasn't going for it. So I'm basically choking myself. So now I'm thinking by this time my lungs filling up with like blood and liquid and all this stuff. I guess pulmonary edema, and they rushed me to the hospital. And the surgery itself was good. It's like the stuff afterward when they trying to wake me up or whatever. So now it's like, okay, we need to get him. I'm being airlifted to the hospital, and they put me, I think I was in ICU. And it's shaky because I'm just all off of memory. Like I don't remember any of this. I didn't even feel it. Like, I just remember waking up in the hospital, and I'm looking around. I see my dad there and my mama, and they just crying when I woke up. It was like 3-something in the morning. It was a Friday morning, like 6 o'clock. I went into my surgery. Now I remember I waited to my mama as she left out the room, and then I woke up. It was Sunday morning, probably around 3, and mom just crying. And I'm just like, bro, what's wrong? Why are y'all here? And I'm thinking, like, why my dad here? Because he stayed in Missouri at the time. I'm in Ohio. Like, why are y'all here? Like, what's going on? Where am I? And then, like, they told me everything. My mama just smiling. And then, like, Nana called me. First thing I asked for, I wanted my phone and some food. My girlfriend at the time, my mom was even nice to my girlfriend at the time. She didn't even like me. Like, she texted me, she was like, Keate, let her know what's going on or whatever. But, like, I didn't even feel it. And all that stuff was going on. Like, my doctor, he told me, he came and saw me or whatever. My coaches or whatever came and saw me or whatever. And I'm still thinking, like, bro, what's wrong? Like, and then my mom told me all this. I'm like, man, I don't believe you. It's crazy to think somebody go from, like, not even being here and almost dying, to tell them that they don't believe you. Like, that's kind of, I don't know, it's crazy. But they, I'm saying, like, now y'all finna be looking for it. But doctor came in there and told me, like, man, I don't know how you survive. It was like, it was talking like you were finna go. It's 50-50. And I was just like, well, I'm supposed to say to that. Somebody tell you almost didn't make it, but you here. I mean, it might be some faith. I ain't had no intention on dying. It wasn't my time yet. And they called like 2 chapels up there from where I was told. And like I said, man, I didn't feel none of it. I just woke up all completely fine. I wanted to leave the day I woke up. Like, that's how good I felt. But they said I made history, actually. I'm the first person to have a successful surgery and go to ICU in the same day. Also, I think I had the faster recovery of somebody that was in ICU. I think I left in like 2 days. Like, go from critical condition to almost, not being here to like just leaving. It like 2 or 3 days. But I was in a coma for a weekend. Like from Friday to Sunday morning. Real blessing. But while I was in the hospital, when I was trying to breathe, I was on a ventilator. And the ventilator, I looked exactly like my friend who passed away at my older job. I looked exactly like him. But the only difference is he died and I lived. And that happened a week before when I was in the hospital that I just told you about. Like, he died that week before. He was in the hospital where I saw that. And then that happened with me being in the hospital. That happened a week before. But like I said, I lived and he died. They show you that anything can happen. It's just crazy that he looked exactly how I looked. Like, I was a bigger guy at the time when I was, during that time when I was in school. And I was talking about, I had the same haircut and everything. And it kind of freaked me out. But it also just showing me, like, it could have been you. So that's week 1 and week 2. So week 3 is post after the hospital, after I told God I wasn't going to smoke no more. And this is when it really, like, just kicked off. Because I made a promise to God, a real promise to God. So I get to this party. Granted, this the day that my brother left, too. He just up and left one day and went back to Georgia. And he told me, I remember I came home and my 2 brothers, they just packing. And I'm just like, am I missing something? I had got off of work. He didn't come. Like, I think neither one of them was there. I'm not really sure. But it was just like, I'm like, am I missing something? Because, like, I see boxes and stuff, everybody just moving. They going to one side and how the other one going to the other side. And I'm just like, what's going on? So one dude, my one brother, he told me he leaving with his girl. And then the other one, he said, oh, yeah, I'm going back to Georgia. And I'm just like, what? Where did that come from? Like, it's so random. And he said God told him to leave. Now, the next day, I had a show. And, because I was still trying to do the music. And I had changed up my music. It wasn't godly music, but it was like music, more so like it's secular music, but it was like, talking about being a man for my kids and all that stuff. It had something to do with God, but it wasn't like how I rap. Like it wasn't how I rap now, put it like that. But it wasn't how I used to rap in the world, talking about drugs and sex and stuff. So I'm still rapping. I get to basically I got put on to this industry party. And I call it industry party, one of the parties that you learn about, or that you hear about with the the sacrifices and all the demonic things that they talk about. That's the party that I was at. It was at a place like half strip club, half pool house or whatever. And this point, when my brother left that morning, it's like I felt peace. It's like a weight had been lifted or something. Cause I was in a shift. I was in a paradigm shift. Cause I was like, man, I'm finna start doing it. Finna start, really making music, being somebody. Cause I ain't gonna lie, bro. When we were rapping, we were gonna be the the Waynes, the Drakes, the Baby. We gonna be up there with them. No cap. And like we was getting there. Like we was legit getting there, bro. Basically like just that level of stardom. And he like I said, he left that morning. I was doing stuff that I ain't never did before. Like I was going to go get I think I was trying to go get my feet done. Like wearing flip flops and stuff. I was like, I don't do that. And I had my hair, I had my dreads at the time, had them braided to the back. I got glasses, now I'm wearing shades. Like what? Like it just doing all this other stuff that I ain't used to doing. Now I'm basically building my rap persona. And I had my chains on, my diamonds, my rings and everything. I get to the party, everything cool, everything was all right. I remember I got to the party. I pulled up and it was this man there. Well, nah, before I got at the car, someone was like, grab your Bible, take your bag in there, grab your Bible. So I'm like, I picked my bag up, put my Bible in there. And then on the way in, there was this dude there that was trying to talk to me, trying to promote himself to me. Dude said he was 37. He said he been rapping since he was 17. He had the same party that I'm at. And I'm just like, he was telling me this, and I'm just like, oh, all right, that's cool. He was asking me about myself. He was like, he a freestyler or whatever. That's all that I write. And then he gonna say, yeah, I remember when I used to write. But yeah, but now it just come off the top or whatever. I'm just like, okay, all right, dude, whatever. Like, we at the same place. And I'm like 21. And we in the same place right now. You been rapping since you was 17. No, basically, get a job, bro. It ain't working. So after we got done talking or whatever, open the door. I get to the door. The dude say, hey, he was finna check me and whatever. He like, oh, I know who you are. You don't have to sign in. You good. How you know me? I ain't even from here. We been here one time, it was for my 21st birthday. And the same place, it's the same place where I was at, but it's a different mindset. See, for my 21st birthday, it was a lot of smoking, a lot of drinking, a lot of women and stuff or whatever. It was like your Project X party. I think I had passed out or something. And it's a picture of me actually from my birthday where I blacked out and I'm on the floor and I look like I'm dead. Like I just look like I'm dead, bro. Like I'm not breathing, nothing, like just laid out, like just a body. Now I remember that, like I said, my roommate had took me home. Thank God I had my roommate, man. Love you, you seeing this. He got me there safely carrying a 200-pound man. I was a little small. I was about 185, 180. I was on my grind then. So he dragged me up, like, for a fact, it was like 4 flights of steps or whatever, and like threw me in the bed or threw me in the house, wherever I was at. He got me home safely and was dragging me or whatever. I think my brothers, they was locked out the house like the whole night. They had to sleep in the lobby or something because I was knocked out. But, yeah, at the party, dude told me he had to check me or whatever. I gave him my bag. He didn't check it. Mind you, I had my Bible in it. So I get inside. I sit in the wrong section. It's my first time being at one of these parties. It's like one of the parties where you rock for all these different labels and stuff. Now, there was a small scale party. I can only imagine what the big ones are like. So I get in there and I get in my section. Everything cool. And remember, the week before, I had told God I wasn't going to smoke no more. I made a real promise to God I wasn't going to smoke no more. So everybody, it's some people in my tent that I knew from performing at this club that I performed at. And I seen him frequently or whatever. And he invited me out. And everything was cool. Everything was cool until I hit this blunt, man. It's like people was there. And that's when like the whole little happiness of it or whatever, it just went down. It's like